To do some basic editing on your cells is fairly simple. For example, I want to click in cell F8 and say instead of $250.15, that needed to be $450. So there's a couple ways to edit it. You can either click on the cell and just basically type over it, say it's 450 and hit enter, and I'll Control Z to undo that. Or you can click up in the formula bar, type in 550 and hit enter. It still shows here, and I'll undo that. Or if you're really good with the mouse, you can double click really fast. It throws your cursor in here, and you can click and drag to highlight the number 2, and then type in and replace it with the 4 and hit enter. Also, it's interesting, you'll see that the text or the title here, it looks like it's in 2 cells. It looks like it, but it actually isn't. For example, if I click in this cell, B11, I look up in the formula bar, nothing's there. If I start typing, all of a sudden it cuts it off, and I hit enter. In other words, think of it this way. When you go to a movie and you're sitting down in a chair, you want to stretch your arms and legs out, right? Because nobody's there. But the moment somebody comes in, you pull in your legs, you sit back, you're in your own seat now, or in this case, your own cell. When I click in the cell, it shows me up in the formula bar what would have been or stretched its legs out into this cell next to it, but because something else is there, another number, then it's going to cut it off and keep it within its own seat or cell. But the moment I click here and delete it, hey, the person stretches back out, enjoys the movie here. If I want to edit this, don't be fooled, it could be a mirage. In other words, it's not in this cell, but we'll show you how to merge cells a little bit later on so it can take up both seats permanently. But for right now, whenever you click here, look up in the formula bar. If it's not there, then that just means it's a fool's gold, a false illusion. It's stretching its legs out, but it's not really taking up that extra cell. So I'll click in cell A11, and let's say instead of the UK, it was going to be Australia. So there's a couple ways I can edit this. I can double click really fast, in which case if I double click really fast, I can actually click over here like it's actually in that second cell, but it isn't, still in the first cell. And I can hit escape to get out of it. Or I can come up in the formula bar and click and drag to select UK and then type in, and then hit enter. And if I make any mistakes, you can click on the undo button. It undoes it. And then I can click on the redo to redo what I undid that I did. Control Z is also the shortcut key, and Control Y is to redo. So I'll leave it as the UK. Next, I can go up here and say Dream Notes. Maybe that's a trademark or a copyright. If you want to insert special symbols, I'm going to click up here. I want to insert the symbol just to the right of Dream Notes 2003. So the best way of doing it is using the formula bar, and I'll click just to the right of 2003 and then go under the Insert menu, left click on Symbol. You can see you got a range of symbols here, but I want the TM. Here's the most recently used symbols. I can click on Special Characters and also take a look here real quick and select Trademark. Click on Insert, and you can see up in the formula bar it automatically adds it, and then close out. And then, to solidify, to accept all the changes, hit Enter on the keyboard and it looks fabulous. Now if you find that you're in a pinch, like for example up here I've got Dream Notes and I wanted to insert like some text to the left of it or just above it, basically you can push this whole column over into the B column and push this whole row right here down into the number 2 row. To get started, what I'll do is I'll right click on the column header A, and then I'll left click on Insert, and it shifts everything over into the next column, everything. In fact, the B is now in the C, and the C and the D, and so forth. Also, if I need to insert more than just one column or one row, for example, maybe I need 2 rows above Dream Notes. I'll click and drag the row header from 1 to 2, then I'll right click and left click on Insert, and it inserts 2 rows because that's how many I had selected when I right clicked. So now it pushed everything down 2. And of course you can also do that by smack in the middle of your database, right click on column E here and click Insert, it shifts everything over, and I'll undo that, Control Z. By the same token, if you can't undo it, what you can do is you can click and drag and select both rows and then right click, and you can always left click on delete and it pulls and sucks everything back up to the top, but I'll also undo that. Now if you just want a specific range to be inserted or also deleted, for example, I want January for both this part of the database, and then I'm going to hold down the Control key and select January for that part of the database, And let's say I want to insert that range of cells, bump maybe January over to the right, or in this case it'll be shifting the cells to the right, so it's only affecting this part. It's not going to insert anything up here, because when you insert whole columns and whole rows, it's going to push everything over, but I just want this part affected of the database, so it shifts everything within this range over to the right and everything within this range over to the right one. So after I hold down the control key and select it, I can right click on either one of these selections and left click on insert, and then it says, look, do you want to shift the cells to the right? So it's going to shift everything that's within this path or within this range from row 6 to row 10 over. And so if I have anything over here in column IV from row 6 to 10, it's also going to be shifted over. Well, it doesn't go beyond column IV. I can shift cells down. So when you're inserting, notice the pattern. When you insert, you can only shift it to the right and down. If you're deleting, it'll be shifted up and to the left. Of course, you can still select insert an entire row or entire column, but right now we'll shift the cells to the right, click OK, boom. Just that range there shifts to the right. So it affects everything to the right of this, shifts over one, and of course everything to the right of that as well. Now really quick to show you the other way, if I made the mistake and I can't click the undo button, let's pretend that we couldn't, and we want to suck these back to the left or shift them to the left, we can click and drag and select this range because we just want to affect these rows from 6 to 10. Hold down the control key and also click and drag to select the one down below as well. And then right click on any one of these selections, one of the two. And then left click on delete. It's going to say, again, do you want to shift it? Only this time it's going to be to the left or up. Well, it's to the left because we want to suck in all this over here and move it just one column over to the left and then click OK. And it only affects, again, the row that's highlighted here and the row that's highlighted down there.